I've always thought of Dr. Villegas as one of the, you might say, important, profound influences in the field of economics in the Philippines. I'm not the only one who thinks so. And the reason for this is because people respect his judgment, and people respect his judgment because of the professional analysis that he puts into it. He's not thought to be one that would provide you a statement in order to pander to any particular group, but calls the shots, so to speak, as he sees them.
Dr. Villegas' achievements attract superlatives because he's one of our eminent economists, not only in the Philippines but in the region, and also he's a notable altruist. He wins a crowd with his speaking prowess, and rooms hush when he enters in anticipation of his lecture, whether it be on economic development, population growth, and even social enterprise.
Dr. Villegas is a well-known economist. He is a member of the Constitution Commission during the time of President Corazon Aquino when they drafted the Philippine Constitution. He's a columnist in the newspaper in the Philippines, and at the same time he wrote several books regarding values, cultures, and teaching of the church.
He was a founder of the Opus Dei in the Philippines, and that I think is a major contribution, because with that he was able to bring into the Philippines a dedicated group. Some people may not agree with that group, but there are many dedicated groups, and some are positive and some are not positive. In the case of Opus Dei, it has brought about a group that dedicates its entire work as a prayer, and who can object to that? Furthermore, it highlights the need to bring spirituality into the center of one's core philosophy and decision-making in one's life. So I'd say that that is a major contribution.
His significant contribution to the Filipino people is to be able to come up with a situation analysis of the state of the Philippine economy, not only by presenting figures, by doing a comparative analysis with our neighboring countries where we are ranking, and also substantively by looking at the causes and consequences of this current situation and trends. So it's not that he says that we are well below the mark in terms of this, but what are the prospects that we are moving ahead, and what would be the future prognostication given changing assumptions and situations, and that's what I like about it. And secondly, in all his presentations, he made use of both published and empirical data. I mean, it's not just a matter of using your own intuition, but he always has evidence to show that these trends are going this way and so on.
He's instrumental in the formation of what you call the pro-life advocacy.
He makes for relatively easy reading for matters that people might consider arcane. Dr. Villegas, I guess I call him Bernie, wants to communicate, aside from wanting to be the natural teacher that he is. He doesn't try to befuddle, and he tries his best to present in a most understandable way, rather than trying to show off the pyrotechnics of economic theory and econometrics and all that sort of thing, which may be all correct, but would be fairly useless if the larger public doesn't understand it or puts the book down before it even gets beyond the preface.
His works are rigorously prepared. I think he makes use of materials that are on hand, puts them together. He is able to marshal all the evidence in the field, and present them in a format that is understandable to everybody, not only for economists but non-economists alike. And he's able to analyze the data that he shows, not only describing what he sees, but also providing explanations for the variations and differences, and also looking at the implications of whatever results he was able to show.
The best work that I think is that he has is the Philippine Phenomenon, which a book was written which talks about culture and then Philippine economy and at the same time values of Filipinos. As an author, I think he's down to earth. He talks, he combined theory and at the same time the experience that he had.
What I'm expecting, of course, is a fusion between a life's work in trying to bring a strong connect between spirituality and, you might say, the mundane practice of economics or one's day-to-day job, and making sure that we don't find ourselves lost, particularly in the modern world, in terms of defining who we are, defining what our values are, and using these as a guideline in order for us to reach beyond ourselves, rather than to think that the end point of one's existence is material success.
He really talked of the moral values and the virtues. He talked of family life, he talked of relationships, he talks of the role of women, and then he talks of this in an environment, in a changing environment. You see, we have globalization, we have regional integration, the rise of the social media, you know, the information technology, where people become exposed to all kinds of alternative lifestyles and so on and so forth. That's why what he was bringing in is to establish or build the foundation of core values that will be your guidepost for your beliefs, for your practices, and for the values that will guide you throughout life.
The new book that he's launching is an update of what he had been doing before. But I think what is important is, because there are a lot of changes in the present condition, this book is going to give us updated information regarding Filipino cultures and values.
Of all the virtues, as you know, the highest is charity, or some people would say it's love. You have to love God. That's the central point of your existence, because if you don't, and you don't even admit believing, then what is the purpose of your existence here? You die tomorrow, and what you transform into dust forevermore, and that's that for that. Secondly, of course, you have to love, as they say, your neighbor as yourself. These were the two great commandments. And you can try to extrapolate beyond that, of course, but that is the core. If you love God and your neighbor as yourself, then you will love your country, you will love your people, you must love your work, and you must dedicate it to the love of all those other things that are the core virtues.
Yeah, one thing that I notice about Filipinos is the divisiveness, you know. Unlike other countries, other nationalities, there is that vision of a common goal, communal goal. But I don't know what happened to the Filipinos. We have become so individualistic. You know, me and my family first before anyone else. No? But then, the thing is, unless you build in that core value within you, it's not possible for you to become altruistic. Isn't it? You should know yourself, you should be secure about who you are, and this is built over time, you know. That's why I think it starts with the family, it starts with the values of the family.
In virtue, I think what is important for him is the humility. Dr. Villegas is a well-known economists all over the world, but he's very humble. So you can talk to him anytime and he will give you advices. As to the values, I think what is more important, he's down to earth. He gives advices and he will treat you as a friend, not even to new people that he just met.